Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. Chuck here, and we've got a list of 11 properties going all the way from the 300s all the way up to $5 or $6 million. So it's pretty widespread. A lot of people have been asking me about the market, and I've been trying to kind of tell people through Daily Homes what we're seeing. And the thing about the news is they're not in touch on the ground level. They don't see the decisions and the inquiries and the things that happen in a local market, because the other thing that we find in the media is they tend to spread it out across a large area. Well, the Canadian market's doing this. It's a hyper-local thing. Real estate has always been hyper-local, and condos are doing different things than townhomes that are doing different things than double-car garages right here in Milton right now. And so it's important to understand the market fundamentals generally, but you also look very specifically and you say what's going on in each individual segment. The new area can be different than the old area, and it can even vary over time. In a month, things can change. In a day, sometimes you'll get a bunch of new listings out, and that'll change the whole dynamic. So anyways, I'm going to put a couple links to some articles. There's a link from the Globe and Mail that talks about how the Canadian market is not going to crash. And then if you read the comments, and I'll put a link to a specific one, I think I agree with that. I think it's Expat in Asia who made some comments about Canadian debt levels, the actual prices of Canadian homes compared to American homes, and some other factors that I think are very, very valid points. So ultimately, we've talked about this before. My own perspective is I think things are going to remain relatively stable, and I talked yesterday about how busy it's been so far. It could be a busy first half, a slow second half, but I think stability is the name of the game this year, and interest rates are really going to dictate if there are any major movements. So that's our own personal opinion. Might have something different, and that's fine, and I hope that you share it with us. We'd love to just have honest and frank discussions about these kind of things. That's what it means when we're really part of a community like Milton Daily Homes. So let's get to today's list. 1637 Beard is the first one. It's at 359.9. It's a Bryant model. It's 1235 square feet, and I mean I could see how a buyer would almost discard this one just based on the bad photos. It's actually a good listing though. There's some wainscoting around the main level. You've got a decent looking kitchen with some upgraded floors, and there's even looks like some beadboard in the washroom and some upgraded floors upstairs. So overall, I would say, to be honest, this one actually looks like a really good listing. There's only one full bathroom upstairs. March 15th is the possession. When you see a date like that, you know there's some importance there. Again, that's another thing you're not going to find on a site like MLS.ca. But anyways, very in line with what they've been selling for. I think that's a good listing. It's a shame about those photos. Hopefully they can fix that up. It almost looks like 8-bit Nintendo games. But Coulson Avenue is 378.5. Detached home. It's in the Timberley neighborhood. Kitchen doesn't look too bad. Everything looks, I think it looks like a good listing for the amount of money they're asking for it. A little bit more renovations. We've seen them in the past sell for $400,000. So with a bit of a discount there, there's still a bit of room to do some work. There's 2-car parking side by side. It's got the detached. And Coulson's a pretty decent street too. So I would say overall this one's really doing well. I was surprised it didn't sell last year when it was listed. We've got this one on Duncan Lane. It's about 16-something square feet, and it looks like a pretty open concept floor plan. I even like this here too. So that's actually the garage for the neighbor beside, but it works great for privacy. And even, to be honest, if kids bounce a tennis ball off of that, I think that's kind of fun to have that in the yard versus just a normal fence there. So it's a decent sized piece of land. It's almost 100 feet deep. And I would say the standard is closer to 80 to 90 feet. So you're getting a bigger backyard here. And $379 for a good-looking townhouse, open concept with a good yard. They should do just fine. Now, they face onto train tracks, so that's not for everybody. But there are obviously people that live there and are fine with it. So Walbrook Craftsman is a semi-detached. It's not a big semi. I think it's 1,300 square feet if I can check the model, but the photos just aren't doing it for this one. I would say 414. They do have a finished basement, although that's the only photo, the one with the electric piano there. Not a great impression based on the images there. 414.9, I would expect a larger home for the same money, so they're probably not really in the game at that price. And Walbrook faces Derry, so the street itself is pretty quiet. It comes right off of Barclay, but you have Derry right in front of you, so the noise is there and the traffic and everything else. So that's a bit of a hit on them. Babcock here, 434,878. We've got a detached home. Some nice hardwood floors, some great finishes inside. The Achilles heel on this one is basically that it's got siding on the outside. Not everybody's into siding, but you've got a decent sized yard. It's almost 60 feet across. Comparing that, a similar sized home that Mattamy builds might have a 36 or a 40-foot lot. And even the new stuff is now 34 feet. But it's a good location, close to Main Street, easy to get on the highway, and I like this number for this house. That's a very, very respectable, solid asking price. And the only thing is, are you okay with the siding? So good stuff. Good agent. Schreier is 484, and it's 1835 square feet. One of the more, I would say, like, this structure probably has more brick on it than most of the elevations. It's one of my favorite floor plans. I think it's the plan 4. I get confused with the numbers. Mattamy all of a sudden just decided to put numbers on their plans and not actually name them, which is easier to remember. So what you have is you've got a front office sort of den area, and then you get into the house and you've got a dining room, open concept with the family room. They've done the California shutters. I love the archway here too. I think that's a nice impression. Upgraded light fixtures, and there's your kitchen too. There's a version that has a pantry. I actually like this layout better because I find this, I think they call this the chef kitchen. You've got granite counters, the hood fan, everything else. They might get this. There's a great view right there. 3 arches. Lots of money spent on upgrades on this one, and even the countertops in the bathroom. So it's a good looking home. I mean, typically the more basic ones are selling for about $450, $460, and I think for the right person to look at what they've spent on this, they could do really well. And on top of that, it's a great floor plan. Laundry upstairs, 3 bedrooms, really, really solid home. McEwen is $497, and when I first looked at this, I thought $497. This is a model. It's over 2,000 square feet. It's got a nice floor plan. There's a small little den upstairs plus 3 bedrooms, and it's a staggered garage. So the problem with that, so there's good and bad to it. So the problem with it is that you lose a driveway space right here. Now what happens is when the garage comes forward, it opens up an entire area in the actual main floor of the house. So there's your entryway, powder room just off to the side. You come through here, and so what you gain basically is you gain this whole dining area. You gain a deeper kitchen. So dining, living, and then kitchen, breakfast on the other side, and hardwood floors here. The cabinets are okay. I don't know if I love the hardwood, or not the hardwood, sorry, the flooring here. Now I'm wondering if it's the color of the grout, because you could actually re-grout this floor very simply, maybe matched a little darker to what the tiles are, and you could be surprised at how good that looks. Some countertops that maybe play off of that, and you're set. So I think that this one has a lot to offer. It's an outstanding price. 2 years ago, these homes were selling for $500,000. So it's very, very good. I like this one a lot. This is, I think, the Chuck pick of the day. Sproat is at $499. A lot of good double garage homes under $500 lately, and I think that's a very positive thing. Not much for sale between $500 and about $530, $540. So there's a bit of a gap there, and I think that the right homes might just slide in and actually start pushing the prices up. But this one here, it's got a great looking kitchen. It's a shame about the angle. And the other thing is, if you're preparing your home for sale, get all the crap off the side of the fridge. It's not helping anybody. Usually try to have no more than 3 things on your countertop is a good rule. So again, with pro photos, this one would have probably gone to the next level. It's still a good deal though. 3 bedrooms on this one. I'm not sure the size though, but I can pretty much say with the 9-foot ceilings, with the kitchen, with the upgrades that they have, they're certainly in shooting range. Now this one on Ridge, so if you have a look in here, there's some upgrades. It definitely looks like a nice home. The granite counters, and again, the hardwood floors. I look at this, and even last year, 65 by 120, it's a nice sized piece of land, but we saw homes last year that were really nice condition, like on homes like Robertson, Anderson, really desirable streets in town. And they were maybe hitting what, 650, 660. So it's 719. I know it's a new year and everything else. I think it's a challenge. They're gonna have a tough time over 7, but what could happen is this could pop, and then all of a sudden the whole game changes in Old Milton. So that would be exciting too, especially if you've got a home to sell. So Inglis is 1.15, and you got a triple car garage. It's on about 2 acres. And they've renovated the kitchens because a lot of the homes in this area are getting to that age when they're starting to look a little bit dated. So I think these guys have put some recent work into this one. Nice open concept home there. And pretty much what I'd expect. I look at this and say it would have been a good deal if it maybe had some part of a finished basement or something like that. It's close. It's in the shooting range for sure. And then this last one on Trafalgar, we're talking about development land, which is kind of an interesting dynamic. It's a little harder to do research. What I do know is the stuff closer to 401, 6 Line, Trafalgar, stuff like that. They've been selling for 250, 300 an acre. This one's at 30 acres, just over 30 acres, asking $6 million, near Trafalgar and Derry, and prime development spot. I mean, think about what's happening at Trafalgar and Dundas. A lot of people don't know this, but that's going to be a very, very intensely built area. Think about here, Ontario and Burnhamthorpe, the Square One area. That's what's going to happen at Trafalgar and Dundas. So imagine big high-rise buildings, everything else. That's what's going to happen there. So really what you could do is you could fold Winston Churchill down the middle, peel the page apart, and the mirror image is going to happen on this side pretty much as what's happened on the other side. So anyways, bottom line, $6 million at 200 an acre basically. I don't think that's far off. The number of people who actually reach in their pockets and write a check for that much and then develop on it is a very small group of people, so it depends what they're looking for. But this is I would say, for the average consumer. And so with that, maybe we won't waste too much time on it on Milton Daily Homes. So have a great day, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. And if you want to see anything in any of these lists, so either the stuff on the side there or the stuff that we review on a daily basis, all you need to do is reach out. Okay, have a great day.